So one of the main areas right now is emotional intelligence. There's so much opportunity in business right now, in life right now, to be lifted up. A lot of people aren't seeing it because they're consumed with what's going on in the forests, not being able to see the trees. And that's one of the problems in business, that most business owners are not being able to view the business at the moment from a vantage point because of what's going on. There's so many distractions. It's one of the things that we need to take out from the distractions. But when they're in the mind, it's a very hard place to get free from. Because in the feeling area, the emotion area, no one really wants to talk about it. It's avoided, particularly with men, I've found over the years. And when we get into that area, there's not a lot of knowledge about how someone feels. It needs a little bit of structure, it needs a little bit of assistance. And in that structuring and actually doing it, the changes in the business and the changes in the people is astronomical. It's fantastic. And I've seen it again and again. I had a lawyer that came into one of the businesses I had, which is a health business. They had flotation tanks and I had massage. And he had a very tight tie, and I just asked him before he started, how he felt. So I gave him this document and he put down about a 2. When he came back out, sitting on the lounge, I asked him to fill that document out once again, and he was up about a 6 or a 7. Now, prior to this, he'd come in about once every 2 months. But after doing this, he went straight up to the desk and he put himself down for 3 floats and massage sessions. So that said to me, he didn't really know what was going on. Now, in that document, it also documented what he was thinking, and just actuated some of the areas between a 1 and a 10 on his stress levels and his tightnesses of his body, all that sort of thing. So he knew what was going on. When he came out, he was a different person to when he went in, because he'd worked on himself. So feelings, how can they hold you back in your company? Well, if someone's given a task and they're thinking about other things and they're worried about the future, worried about where they're going and how things are going to pan out, how much real input are they going to have into your business and being creatively thinking and looking for solutions? They're not. Now, if this is you as a business leader, they're going to flow on with the same type of patterns unknown to you. And you're not going to know what patterns they're really in unless you get down and find out what's going on a little bit. Now, we don't need to be straight to the point with someone, but we can use a process called EET DERT to start actuating what the what the event is for people, what the event is in for your business. It might be low sales, it might be lots of things at the moment. It's all over the shop. But as we address them, we'll find out what we're feeling and thinking about that event. We can change that event. We can change the event in our minds by going into better thinking and better understanding of what feelings would propel us forward. So how do you do that? Well, as an example, I was talking to someone in an IT company, a veterinary IT company recently, and they were looking to go into mental health to just help them because they're worried about the future. They didn't know what was happening. They were isolated. That's their main feeling that was going on. So we talked about that and brought out that they didn't really know what the future was going to hold for them, how they were going to get through it, what it was really meaning, and just a lot of confusion was going on. So I asked them, how would you prefer to feel? What would you like to be able to feel during this period? And she said, well, calm would be okay. I said, what about a bit of peace? And what about confidence? Would you like to feel confident? Well, of course. So we dived into the thoughts and we turned those other ones around. Then I spoke to her about where she was. And she's a very competent lady. And she would be able to access other opportunities of business throughout her life, as she has already. The isolation can actually be a blessing because it gives perseverance, it gives stamina, it brings courage up, and no one's going to take you out if your mind has decided that you're okay with where you are. I mean, it's a problem when we say, I can't take this, it's too hard, and all the other negatives, sure, they're there. We don't want to necessarily do it, but if we keep focused on what that's going to mean to our lives and to our businesses and to all the people around us, is going to have an impact which is quite negative, and it's going to hold back productiveness, time efficiencies, creativity, all sorts of things. So once we find out what someone is about, we don't need to go deep into their personal area necessarily, but we can find out what they're thinking and what they're feeling in certain areas of the business. Once we've done that, we've engaged with them. Now, by engaging in this area, and another amazing opportunity happens. Well, the opportunity is showing and proving to them that they're valued and they're worthwhile, and their point of view, their understanding, their thoughts are really important to us as business leaders. I mean, we might be leading from one area, but they can also lead from their area and combine into our area and be one with the whole business. And if we have a community spirit in the business where we're lifting each other up, and we do bring issues in the business to the forefront, we deal with them head on. We don't point the finger at everyone, and we know how to do this approach. Now, what's that going to mean to the efficiency of your whole business? Is that going to free up your time because people are actually taking on responsibility for themselves? Absolutely. Absolutely. And right now there's things like synapses. I don't know if you've heard about synapses, but synapses is an area of the brain which is actuated through creativeness, like writing on a piece of paper. So in EET DERT, we have a web app which anyone can use on a phone quickly if you like. I recommend to download the worksheet and then just do it on your own time, in your own place, with your team, whoever, on a blackboard, on a piece of paper, but get your actions on your hands happening, so the synapses in the brain is being actuated, because that's a developmental area. And children right now, and young people, ourselves, we're all on phones, we're on computers, and it's not actuating that area of the brain, and that could be a bit of an issue later on. So this is another opportunity to get more creative and get your brain healthy, if nothing else. So everyone wants to move forward. Everyone wants to feel good. And it is possible if we choose the right thinking, we choose the right feelings that we want to actuate, and get the right thoughts to actually get to where we want to go. It's like an iceberg. We can see what's on top, that's the action, but what do we need to do to get the whole business and ourselves really moving in the right directions? Well, we need to understand the meanings and the values underneath, how important it is. Now, if this is important to you, what I'm saying to you right now, then you'll do something about it. You'll see that by actuating something like this, the EET DERT system, or the EET DERT exercise, this simple system, you can see what it can actually do for you, your team, your family, and everyone around you. It can do amazing things for your profit levels. And if you want that to come up, and you want hope for the future, you want confidence in your life, you want something that's going to happen faster and easier than what you're doing now, then this is a start. So reach out. We're happy to share EET DERT with you as you do it. You'll want to obtain the skills to actually move that iceberg, get that action happening, and you will. And I just hope that what we've spoken about here in this message is going to actuate a lot of people into looking at how they're thinking and how they're feeling now, and turning them around.